So as you can see here, I've got a set of Chinese brushes and never had them before. For a set they are £6.49 and they are just classed as small, medium and large. Now I've been after a set of these for ages and I thought I would just do a few marks and just see what they do. Anyway, it's pretty easy to see which one's small, medium and large, but they don't actually have markings on them, I don't think. Unless that means it in there, if that's in Chinese, I don't know. Anyway, very, very light, so I presume they're bamboo. So, come with a nice little cap, like a lot of brushes do. So the length of them is quite... Let's get rid of these lids. You can go over there a minute. So as you can see, they're quite long, I think. So that the large one's about the same size as that. So if you was to look at that and that, would that be? So the point seems to go to a point. I mean, this did go to a point, but this seems to go to a much more abrupt point. Smaller one. So the small one looks comparable with the like a number 10, which would be in a Pro Art or any pointed round, roughly about that, which would be the small one. So medium one's probably about the size of a 12 maybe, and the large one's probably the size of a 14. Oh, it's still rock hard. Normally goes soft by now. That's still rock hard. So what does that tell you? There's normally just a little tiny bit of a covering on them, isn't there? That's still rock hard. It's likely got some sort of coating on them. Now every time I've ever had a brush before, you just put them in water and they just seem to split. I think I'm going to go and do it in some warmer water. I'll come back. Washed them in some hotter water, or warm water. Now they have all come out fine. Quite a lot of hairs came out, and as you can see, they're quite scraggly looking. They're not a good looking set of hairs, but maybe that's what the charm is. Having never had them, I don't actually know. Right, so I was going to see if you can get back to her. So they are very, very soft. Do they go back to a point? Because they're meant to. And still a few really minute hairs falling out, but that's probably the way the brush is made. So they are hog hair on the inside and goat hair on the out, apparently. So still, yeah, still quite pointy. I don't know if you can pick up these little hairs that are on my thumb here. And I've been gardening today, so my fingers are all filthy and all. Anyway, so then there. So when you can, so it looks like you can, there's still a bit of soap in that water because I put a bit of soap on them as well to try and soften them up. I was a bit worried when I first got them that you can see that hair out there, I think. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a few of these hairs coming out. Don't really want any soap in the water because it tends to muck the paint up a bit. It definitely looks like you're shedding a fair bit of air, this. I think I'll just rinse that one more time and then go and change that water. But you can see here with the when they splay, I mean that might be good for perhaps a bit of foliage. Well, I'm going to give that another rinse, I think. So I'm going to try and do some fine lines, and I think I'm going to splay them out, and then because they don't spring back like your normal synthetic brushes. They tend to go and stay there, which I think once you get used to it is probably a good thing. Who knows? Right, let's have a little play with a bit of a colour. I was going to use this bit here, whatever I've got here. Bit of old black there, that'll do. Just for a few marks anyway. Right, so it's fairly pointed. So I'm going to write my name. Make sure that paint's not too thin. Water is still. It's been there a while, I know. Try and write it thinner. Not much thinner, is it? I'll do some little lines. Well, you can't get any little lines. That's as small as I can get it. I thought it would be way smaller than that. So maybe we'll have, if I was doing some brickwork, or block work, or not block work, but so like a old wall. Certainly feels like it holds a lot of paper. So something like maybe a star. Four-pointed star at that. Now fill it in. We can. One thing I can say straight away is it definitely holds a lot of water, a lot of paint. I reckon you could paint with this for ages. Dry it out a bit. Take a lot of the excess off. If I get thinner lines now. Yeah, so having less water. They are so soft, it's actually hard to tell when when the brush is hitting the paper. I'm going to try and do have a bit of green, I think. Clear that off a bit. Have a bit of Walker's green and chromium. Don't really know how much to load the paint up with. So if you go like that, it does actually go back sort of pretty good point really. So could I do that goes alright. What about a few bits of grass? Or whiskers? Go along it. Wow, a long way. What about a leaf of some sort? That wasn't very good. Don't doubt when I'm rubbish at leaves either. look quite nice really. I reckon the control will come once you get used to what you're doing, because at the moment I can't hardly feel when that's on the paper. I'll get a bit bluer. Right, so some, I mean that's a really bit like a sea colour, I suppose. Let's chuck a bit more blue in. Very watery, so I'm going to splay it right out this time. So you're going to get plenty of coverage out of it. Let's have it even thinner. That's some really, really watery stuff. Might end up a flower, who knows. Oh, the last thing I want to try is a little bit of dry brushing. Get most of that off. And it ends up like that. You can see it on there. Very scraggly. That might be alright for a bit of bushery or grasses. Well, that's quite versatile, isn't it? I don't know what that's meant to be. Maybe it's a bush or something. And I'm going to go across here just with some wiggly lines for maybe fur. I reckon they're pretty versatile then. Quite impressed with that, to be honest. Right. So the learning curve for me will be feeling when I'm actually touching the paper. I don't know if I actually want to put that back to a point or not really. Right, so hairs have sort of stopped coming out. Your handle here so you can handle it up so you can dry it out properly. Not that I've got anywhere to hang it up. So that won't be happening with me. Right, what's the medium one? There's not really a great deal of difference in the hair, the body of that one and that one. This one's obviously the medium, but there's not an awful lot of difference. There's more difference in the handle length than anything else. Right. So we'll do that wider. This is the really watery stuff. I might just do a bit of that flower again, same as the other one. Very watery. Just leave that to dry off, I think. So this can be one swoop. This was two. So here would be lovely, lovely and smooth the way that's going on. Very smooth. I think I'm going to dry that off a bit and we're going to paint up a bit. We'll do a few more of them like brickwork and stuff. Let's have a drop of the burnt sienna. Just to see what that looks like. That's actually too dry. At least I'm starting to be able to feel it now anyway. Couldn't feel it before. No, I'm not liking that. Not liking that for bricks. So you've got a pointy bit here, and then it goes. So the point really is a bit too pointy for that. It was alright on that one. I'll chuck a bit of blue in with that. Bring it down a little bit. And we're going to do a funny colour flower. This seems much thicker than the other one. This would be some sort of tree maybe. Gone all over my flower now. Or go too far. I'll chuck a bit of a middle in it. I prefer the smaller one, I think, than this one. This one seems to be a few hairs coming out still. Quite a lot of hairs coming out actually. I've heard that with goat brushes though, they do shed lots of hair. And it'll calm down after a while. Let's try the writing on and a few fine lines, I think. Right, a few fine lines can go down here. Right, can we aim the brush? Oh, it's very wiggly. So that would suggest it's going to be ideally suited to looser painting because it's difficult to direct, so far anyway, direct where it's actually going to go. Would actually suit a few looser styles if this was on a bigger piece of paper. Can I write my name with it? I don't feel this only feels like it's sort of half loaded. if you used to load this brush right up, it would get a tremendous amount of coverage, I think. Where are we going to chart this? There's a big hair coming off of that. That line there is definitely calling for something. It certainly goes a long way. Quite nice. I think you really need to be on a big bits of paper. I mean, this is an A4. And so these really are not even A5 size, which I'm trying these on. And you really probably need to be on at least an A4 just for this to feel a little bit comfortable. So probably like an A3 or 16 by 12 minimum probably. We've not even tried the Whopper yet. I can't see the big one being much more pronounced than that. This paper is Daily Rowney £140 pulp paper. It's their aquarelle. So what can we do with this? I'm going to try doing my name again first. So it seems a big old brush. Takes some of the paint off. Very watery. There's not enough pigment in that. Right, let's load her up and see. That's still not properly loaded. It feels like it would hold absolutely gallons of paint. A bit of that turquoisey stuff. I'll do a broad. Putting on these long bits here, that's what's impressed me most so far, is that how smooth that goes on. Tremendously smooth. That's amazing. That is lovely. So for big washes, very nice indeed. So long stem. Not impressed with that, but I'm just crap up. That was a sort of tree. Pretty ugly, isn't it? It's this. I've not experienced a brush that goes on that smooth, ever. So that must be the goat here. I've actually also got some Artway brushes, which I've not used yet either. So if the Artway brushes are anything like this, then that is going to be an absolute dream. Maybe I'm just about to discover what goat brushes are all about. But I'm going to do a bit more of that dry stuff. So I need a bit of that feels like, you know them like floor mops you get with a bucket and you squish that mop in the bucket. That's what that feels like. Wow, look at that, I'm just taking the paint off. It's covering a whole lot. That normally lasts me days and days and days. Right, still got loads in it. I want a bit more, a bit more oomph to it really. I hope I'm not damaging the brush doing this. Look at that. That has got to give it some sort of nice effect, surely. We could definitely do some grasses and reeds and stuff with that, or fur. Oh, look how much that covers. Weeping willow, maybe? Very nice. What if I could then roll that on there and get that back to some sort of point? So that just stays at that angle, which I'm just not used to at all. Because the synthetic brushes don't do that. It's a whole new world out there. What very believable grasses. Right at that angle on the end. Very nice. I don't really want to put too much water in there to wash it out, because it seems to just stay so wet all the time. So can we get a point back? Can you get some bricks out of that? Yeah, you could do some stone walls with that. Definitely. Definitely, I think these are really for big loose paintings, I think, which is something I don't really currently do, but I will Now I've got this. Let's just give this a little bit of a and chuck a bit of that in. Can you chuck a bit in? No idea what that is. Witchy hat or something. That's sort of dry. It's obviously going to be too soft to lift paint out. You very much doubt you can be able to lift anything out of it. No, didn't think you would. Then you chuck a bit of still can't really feel where I'm going. Exactly where I'm going. This line here, I thought I was over here, but I'm actually, as you can see in there. It's definitely more for loose painting, I think, which is going to be a whole new world for me. Yeah, anyway, £6.50. Very nice. And that's for free. I'll definitely be playing with these more. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll probably do one on the Harkes or rigger brushes coming up soon. Unless I've not done them already, of course. Don't know which order I'm going to put them out in, but anyways, rigger brushes and Harkes brushes. Thanks for watching. See you on another one again soon. Cheers.